This is not a quick speed shop. I'm down in Varysburg, New York. I'm at Boxler Maple, and we're going to do a tour of the sugar shack here with my friend Nikki Boxler, and then we're going to go walk in the woods and see where the sap comes from to make all this New York State maple syrup. I drove the Model A truck here. We're going to ride around with that and then go walk in the woods. It's a gorgeous day out here today, and I can't wait, so let's go.
All right, welcome to Boxler Maple. Come on in, I'll show you around. Actually, we're going to start around the outside, so we're going to walk around the outside, if that's okay with you.
That's awesome. Guys, I can attest. I've been using Boxler Maple on my oatmeal every Sunday morning for, well, I ran out of half gallon, so hopefully you got some more.
Oh, I do.
Good.
Oh, I have plenty. There's plenty more where that came from.
Right here from Varysburg in Western New York. Right out of the trees.
Right out of the trees. So right here is our building. This is where we make maple syrup. As you can see, we have our 3 stainless steel silos, our Boxler Maple sign right on the front, so it's very, very hard to miss. Can't really miss it when you're driving by. And this is my brother's baby. He has done so much work on this building. It's really incredible. I was hoping he would be here today with us, but he's actually down at the Bowling Green tractor pull, so
wow.
He wasn't able to make it.
How many gallons each are these tanks here?
So these tanks, they're custom built, and they each hold 20,000 gallons of sap.
Wow.
So when our trucks come in, this is where they unload all the raw sap. So the first 2 hold raw sap, and then the third one with the sign on right here, that one's actually weighs about 50% more than the other 2 because this one's special. So it's split into 2 sections. So it's for permeate and concentrate. So after it runs to the reverse osmosis machine, it comes into our 3rd silo here, and the top holds the concentrate, which is gravity fed into the building, into our evaporator, and the lower part is concentrate, which is essentially distilled water. So very good, can drink it right there. We get a lot of water after it runs through the RO. We're gonna head inside. So our building is actually still under construction, so it's not open to the public yet, but you can still come visit because we have ice cream, which is open, and our deck is open, which will go around and you'll be able to see the deck. But first we're gonna head inside and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is Boxler Maple, and as I said, it's still under construction, so there's a bunch of stuff laying around and the kids are out playing. So we have our mini golf set up here.
Nice.
But this is where the magic happens. This is where we make all of our maple syrup. In front of us is the evaporator. And if you turn around behind us, we have our balcony. And these stairs actually fold up so you can get them right out of the way if you need to. And our ice cream shop is right there on the left. All right, so a little bit about our family is we have a dairy farm and a safari park as well, and then we have our maple syrup. So when we first started doing maple syrup, we were down on our main farm, and then we just moved here a couple years ago. But as I said, it's been a long, slow process because my brother has been doing most of the work on this building himself, and he actually he left his job exactly 1 year ago today.
Oh, wow.
To work full-time on the maple syrup business. So he was a diesel mechanic for Caterpillar, so he's very familiar with vehicles. That's why I really wish he was here to talk to Josh.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as familiar with vehicles, but I'm just showing him the building. So we have the timber frame building. My dad and brother have always loved timber frame. They're always in the woods, you know, they have that deep connection to the land. So timber frame was just a natural fit. And then you'll see the elk antler chandeliers up here. My brother built those. Those are actually antlers that shed off naturally from our elk at the safari park. And that's what he used to build the antler, or that's what he used to build the chandeliers.
So it's probably hard to find antler, like you've got the safari park, but out in the wild, like antlers get eaten by rodents and stuff like that, so it's hard to find them in the wild.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. Plus, like in New York, we don't have elk, wild elk.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate that we have the animal park, that we're able to get some sheds. And they actually have some down there every year, you know, for people to come if you want to buy your own.
Oh.
You can get them right down there as well. But it's an absolutely beautiful building. My brother did, as I said, most of the work. So electric, plumbing, pretty much everything you see, he had a hand in building, and it's been a slow process. But since he left his job, it's been coming along much quicker.
So if you guys go on Nikki's channel, The Maple Farmer, right? On
Yep,
YouTube?
Maple Farmer.
Maple
Yep.
Farmer. There's a video actually of building the building. There's a time lapse of this, all the assembly of the building, and then other videos on. I'll put a link in the description of the video, obviously, but you can see that was what, probably 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. Yep.
And setting the tanks out front, using the crane to set some of the insulated panels on the roof, putting all the timber frame together is really cool.
So this is our steam evaporator, and what's great about this is it can make about 300 gallons of maple syrup an hour.
Oh, wow.
Which is very efficient, very quick. It has an automatic draw, so once the syrup reaches the correct temperature, it automatically draws off into our tubs here, which once one fills up, we'll just switch it over to the other one. But it is all steam, which means you can't really burn maple syrup, so that is a huge perk about it.
And what's your fuel source for the building here?
Yeah, so we use propane and diesel, but for the evaporator, this runs off of steam. So we have our boiler in the back, which is right here. My brother installed this, so he could tell you all about it, but he's not here.
What type of tractors is he pulling in at Bowling Green, or does he just go to the show?
No, so my uncle pulls at Bowling Green,
Okay.
so he has the special, the Boxler Special is what it's called. They usually do really well. You can look them up on YouTube. There's just some videos from different pulling teams out there. So hopefully they do well. And then right here is our reverse osmosis machine. So the reverse osmosis machine drastically cuts down on boil time, which if you've ever made maple syrup, it takes a really long time because you're literally boiling down a ton of liquid to get 1 gallon of maple syrup. So depending on the sugar content, the time of year, it can take anywhere from 42 gallons of sap to 70 gallons of sap to make just 1 gallon of maple syrup, which means you have to boil off a lot of moisture. So the reverse osmosis drastically cuts down our boil time. So we ran about 1.2 million gallons worth of sap through this machine last year.
Wow. Now in maple season, do you run like almost 24/7 in
Yes.
here? Okay.
Yeah. So maple season is, maple sap runs seasonally. So it's usually, we start capping in January, and then it runs through March, April. If we're lucky, we'll get into April. And it is a 24/7 job at that point, because once the sap is flowing, you can't stop, because if tanks overflow, lines break, anything happens, that's just money that's literally dumping onto the ground. So you are all hands on deck all the time.
Do you hire extra help during season to help, or is it just your family doing it?
Yep. We do have, there's a group of people, we have about 10 people that help us with maple syrup.
Okay. Yeah, people.
And if you actually turn around, you can see some of our tapping.
Oh, the tapping guns,
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen you use them in the videos when you're out tapping the trees.
Yeah. Our secret stash in here. This is where all the maple syrup is kept.
Look at all the stainless steel barrels.
So this room is actually empty right now because we sold all of our syrup. So we sell pretty much the majority of our syrup all in bulk. So we sell them in the 40-gallon stainless steel drums right here. And then these ones right here, each of these mini silos will hold 134 barrels, which is about 5,400 gallons of maple syrup. So if we overproduce, which, fingers crossed, we really want that every single year.
Right.
But we have extra stores so we can put them into these silos.
And when you sell in bulk, do you sell to like restaurants and stuff, you mean, or?
No, so we're selling to a distributor so how it typically works for maple syrup is, so if you buy direct to the farm, you're getting like the best of the best maple syrup that producer made for the entire season. So that is like the cream of the crop. You want to buy direct from the farm because you're getting the best maple syrup. Where then when you buy from a store, what they're doing is they're buying from the distributors. They're mixing all the distributors' maple syrups together, and then
Okay.
they're white labeling it under that store brand.
Okay.
So it's still good, still 100% pure maple syrup, but you know, when you buy from the from the producer, you're getting their best syrup of the entire season.
Right.
Here's some of our different maple syrup. So we primarily only have 3 grades that we sell here. So that's golden, amber, and dark. And so how maple syrup is graded is that the lighter the color, the more delicate the flavor.
Okay.
So, and then when you get darker with the color, it's gonna have a more deep, robust maple flavor. So if you're cooking with it, you know, like doing ribs or barbecue, you wanna use that darker flavored maple syrup. So we got glass, plastic. We have infused maple syrups, which are really fun, especially the seasonal ones. They're delicious.
This is 100% maple syrup. It's not, you guys go to the grocery store, that's not real maple syrup that you're buying off the shelf. That's processed high fructose corn syrup, right?
Yeah, so fun fact, a lot of people think that maple syrup, when you go buy it at the store, that it's, you know, maple syrup, but a lot of it is actually table syrup, or, you know, I think they call it like table syrup or pancake syrup a lot, and people think that's maple syrup. So one really fast way to know if you're buying 100% real maple syrup is you just take the bottle, you turn it, and you look at the ingredients. Maple syrup, real maple syrup will only have 1 ingredient, and that's maple syrup. Here we're certified organic, so it's organic maple syrup. So if you turn that bottle around and there is a huge list of ingredients, put it right back, because that's not real. You want to grab the real thing.
And your website is boxlermaple.com?
That is correct.
And you guys can order these, I think. Are you just shipping tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm actually working on international shipping, so hopefully soon we will have international shipping.
Nice. So if you want Nikki to send you a bottle of real maple syrup right here, boxlermaple.com. This is the size I use. It takes me, it's a gallon, right? Yeah. It takes me about, I don't know, a year and a half of Sundays to go through a gallon.
Oh, well, that's because, Josh, you need to be putting it on, you know,
everything.
In your coffee. You got to be making like barbecue sauces with it, you know.
Everything.
You got to start cooking with it.
What's here?
Oh, maple cotton candy.
No kidding.
So this is our newly finished porch. Warren just finished it probably almost a week ago now. So it just opened. So now when you get ice cream, you can come out, enjoy the porch, enjoy the gorgeous view. We have our pond out here. It is not stocked. People always ask if there's fish in it, and there's no fish in it. Not yet anyways. And then we have our fire pits, which at night we'll light those up. And you just can't beat this view. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm very excited to get our fall foliage this year, because now we have a porch that we can really sit down and just enjoy it. So this is the original woods. This is actually my great-grandfather's farm. This is his original farm that he purchased. So he was tapping trees here. My dad grew up tapping trees on this property, and that's why it's actually one of my favorite properties, because of the history that's behind it. And also it has brand new tubing, because they just put brand new tubing in it last year, so it looks really nice. But this woods is primarily sugar maples, and sugar maples are the preferred maple for making maple syrup, because they have a higher sugar content than other maple trees, and they have a sweeter sap. So delicious maple syrup from them. Right here's a nice sugar maple. And you can see, so these are the old tap holes. When you tap a tree, it doesn't hurt the tree, but as immediately after the season, you do want to pull the spouts from the tree. So this is the spout, which was tapped into this tree right here at one point. So immediately after the season, you want to pull this out, so that way it allows the tree time to heal. And a healthy tree will grow over its tap hole in about a year. So very quickly, they heal up quickly. I always compare it to a person giving blood. So it doesn't hurt the tree, and health of the tree is very important. So we like to take care of our trees. But yeah, right there's an old tap hole. Here's a really old tap hole. You know, as you look around the tree, you'll see different ones, and every time you tap, you kind of want to be, you know, a couple inches away from the tree, from the old tap hole on each side, and then about 6 inches up and down from an old tap hole.
So you gotta do twice the work. You gotta come out, tap them all, land them, and then unplug them all into, like, what, April-ish?
Yeah, yep. So yeah, our season usually wraps up around April, so we're pulling all the spouts immediately after that. And if you want to get into tapping trees, the best time, because I'm looking at all these leaves right now, the best time to go identify your maple trees is right now, when there's leaves on the trees, because the easiest way to identify them is by looking at the leaves.
There's thousands of baby maples down here.
Oh yeah, thousands. So maple trees that grow naturally in this area. So in the northeast region of the United States, that's pretty much the only place that maple trees grow naturally. So that's where maple syrup for the entire world is made, currently at least, is here. So they all grow naturally. It's not a row crop, which means it's a lot of work. We can't just hop on a snowmobile or an ATV to drive through to tap all the trees. We have to manually walk and tap every single tree, put up all the lines, you know, by walking. So it's a lot of work. I do have to say, it's one of my favorite seasons because I get in the best shape of my life during maple season. But right here is a maple leaf. These ones kind of got some bugs, so they don't look too great, but this is a classic sugar maple leaf. It has 5 lobes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it has that classic U shape between each lobe. So that's a unique identifier of a maple tree, and it looks very proportionate, like as wide as it is tall there. Then the bark on maple trees is like a grayish brown bark, so when you look, if you have a woods that's a lot of sugar maples, it'll almost look silver when you look out through all the trees. It's really, really nice, really neat. It has a tighter bark with the vertical striations in there. And as the tree matures and gets older, it'll grow some more character and it'll have more pronounced striations in the bark.
Is this mound of the tree, or is it just hanging on?
Nope,
It's just tight to it. Okay.
Yep. So in our tubing, so we kind of rotate our woods for how often we switch out the tubing. So this tubing is switched out about every 10 years. We try to rotate a little less than 10 years. So every year we put new tubing in one of our woods.
Okay.
And these spouts are 1/4-inch spouts. So you always want to match your drill bit to your spout when you're tapping. So we use a 1/4-inch drill bit for the 1/4-inch spout to tap into the tree. So that way it fits nicely and you don't have any leaks. So that way it produces good and your vacuum stays up. Through the drop line into the lateral line, which is then connected to the main line, which is over there, that 1-inch blue line, which carries it back to our gathering tank. Well, it actually carries it back to a wet and dry line, which carries it back to our gathering tank. It's like lashing, so it just goes, so the wire helps keep everything tight. This, obviously, the lashing just holds it together. And yeah, we buy these pre-lashed because it's just way easier. We used to do it all ourselves and twist, you know, do the twist ties, but that takes forever, where this is just much easier. Yeah, I think we have about 135 miles of tubing if you lay it all out. So there's quite a bit. Oh, you can see all the little, so the maple trees all grow naturally. Yep. And you can see all the little saplings all growing up. So, you know, you think that's good, but a lot of times they crowd each other out and they actually end up dying. Right. So there's not going to be that many maple trees as they keep growing.
Okay, we finished up walking in the woods here. Thanks, Nikki, for the tour of the shanty and the woods and the property and how you make maple syrup. It's awesome. And you guys should go to boxlermaple.com, order up the syrup. She's going to be ready for maple season again this year. Hopefully it's going to be good weather for that. And you can put maple syrup on anything: coffee, breakfast, pancakes, French toast, anything you want, cook with it.
Oh, and in beverages, those cocktails, holiday season's coming.
There you go. Go to boxlermaple.com. Thanks for watching. We're going to drive the Model A truck. We got it out here in the farm field. It's awesome. Took it off-road and we're going to go back to the shanty. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.